Thanks for your support as a channel member, Keith Watson. There you go, folks. I promised you we'd be back with the Manchester United save before too long, and here we are. We are back, hopefully, to continue where we left off, because we were doing really rather well. If you've not checked this series out so far, there is a link to the playlist down in the description. I know there's a good couple of thousand new people who've arrived on the channel the last few days after Non-League to Legend and all my first look videos, but this is the save we started in the beta, and now we shall continue and run it alongside Non-League to Legend until it reaches its conclusion. We've got a Champions League quarter-final now against Inter, so it's not easing us back into the save. I've got to remember how to play big club football. Hello and welcome to part 20 of the Manchester United save. I'm Kem. Coming up on today's episode, we have that Champions League quarter-final against Inter, both legs, and we're going to play the Watford game in the Premier League off camera in between the two. We've got quite the run in. We've got the Champions League quarter-final. We've then got an FA Cup semi-final at Wembley against Liverpool, followed by a game against City in the league. I play a game against Liverpool in the league. This is... we've got the chance to win everything, but it could all go desperately wrong in the next two episodes as well. So, high stakes and all that. We're going attacking for the first leg against Inter. We do have our counter-attacking system in our back pocket ready for the away leg. But for the first one, we're going to do what's got us this far, which is an attacking tiki-taka with this team. De Gea in goal, a back four of Gaia, Maguire, Diaz and Wan-Bissaka. Pogba and Olmo in midfield, Sancho, Eriksen and Everton behind Kane up front. And I'm looking at that team thinking, there's three of them who play for Manchester United in real life. I'm only a season and a half into this. That I've absolutely torn Manchester United apart and kept the good bits. I've kept Pogba, Maguire, De Gea, and Wan-Bissaka. There's four of them from the real Manchester United team. Wowzers. Right, I fully expect you to keep our run going in this match. I do. I don't know how good I'm expecting Inter to be. They are, I think when we looked at them, they were top of Serie A. So they're quite good. But how good is Serie A compared to the Premier League? I'm looking at the actual players they've got, thinking, to me, that looks like we've got a better team than they have. But it depends if the game wants to punish me for having a few days off of the save, and Guy's got sent off, hasn't he? The main thing I really struggle with in Football Manager is what to do when we go down to 10 men. It always breaks me. I am going to take off one of those three. I'm bringing Luke Shaw on, that's for sure. It's who I take off, and I'm thinking Everton is probably the one who offers the least flexibility of position as we move further into the game, because Eriksen can drop back into midfield if need be or go out wide. Sancho can come in there or go over there if need be. Everton really can only play out wide. So I think it's Everton who is going to come off for Luke Shaw. It's a little bit harsh because he's been playing very well, but I kind of feel like that's what I have to do. Sancho's going to go there. We're just going to shuffle the whole of the midfield around a little bit. This is not going to go well, is it? I need a ball in midfield or something a little bit more defensive in here. I'm going to play Pogba. Pogba's going to do that. And then these two are just going to have to play roles they're not really comfortable with. But I can't have all the playmakers in the world in the team. There you go. It's not the ideal midfield. I don't like this at all. But to lose a man so early on in such a big tie, 28 minutes into the first leg when we're at home, is hideous. And it's the sort of thing that can turn an entire season, an entire series on its head. Shaw now finds Pogba. Pogba plays it all the way across to Wan-Bissaka. Wan-Bissaka back to Sancho, who is playing centrally now after those tactical changes. Olmo to Pogba to Sancho, back to Pogba and Olmo again. We've still got a lot of quality in this midfield. Plays it out to Luke Shaw, who is in space, beats his man, and I think he's won a penalty. He's definitely been brought down. I assume we're going to the little telly to decide whether that's inside or outside of the area. In an ideal world, we get a penalty and they get a player sent off. A red card is super harsh there because he wasn't through on goal, but I would take it if it's offered to me, and I'm expecting a penalty here, please, Football Manager. Do not give me no nonsense free kicks on the edge of the area. For goodness sake. For goodness sake. What is that? Look at it. Ericsson to take the free kick. Whips it in, and it was a poor free kick. It was overhit. It was too high, too long. And, I mean, that could have turned the half on its head there, right, at the stroke of half time. But it hasn't. Right. Let's passionately say, come on, lads, we may be a man down, but we can still get a result here. Wan-Bissaka loves that. Everyone else completely indifferent to it. The key thing, really, is making sure Inter don't score. Because if they get an away goal, we have a problem. Because the game plan for the tie was get a lead in this tie and then go to Italy and defend. If we have to go to Italy and attack, that's something that we've proven repeatedly in this save so far we really struggle to do. At big teams away from home, the only time we've had any success is defending. So we need a lead from this first leg, because if we go there playing our attacking tiki-taka system, they're going to rip us apart. That was so close. Oh, it's such a fine balance between let's try to avoid having them score an away goal with we really have to score ourselves. I'm going to have to make some tweaks in it. We are playing some lovely football. This midfield four looks good, but Harry Kane is absolutely isolated. Luke Shaw, trying to be fancy again, gets a crossover to Sancho and ends up with Pogba. Olmo's got space there, but ends up with Shaw. Olmo again. Pogba just sitting back in this little pocket again, running the game as a deep line playmaker on defend. I quite like Pogba in this role. We've not used him as defensive deep line playmaker at all yet, I don't think. Shaw is in again. Luke Shaw has looked very threatening since he came on. If Inter were paying attention, they'd stick a real top quality right winger on top of him to stop him pushing forward, just keep him occupied, because he is our main source of attack at the moment. Sancho has missed out on the ball there, but Wan-Bissaka has got his back. Awesome. Inter with the corner, and I don't, is that De Gea who's cleared that off the line? I think we call that a save, or it might have been somebody else. It definitely got cleared off the line though. It looked like a certain goal, but we've managed to keep it out. And we have another highlight here. It's with Pogba. Very, very deep again from Pogba. Shaw to Olmo. Pogba's an option for I love how Paul Pogba's playing in this role. It's excellent. Pogba playing it all the way out to Wan-Bissaka, who has got space. Considering the way our formation looks, it's bizarre that Inter seem to be playing more narrow than we are. Sancho scores! Jadon Sancho with his 15th goal of the season. It's a lovely goal from the edge of the area. He's playing out of position as the attacking midfielder when we've got Ericsson, Olmo and Pogba all behind him thinking, we know how to do that role he's struggling with. And Jadon Sancho demonstrates why I was so keen to keep him on the pitch in those circumstances, because that is a lovely, lovely finish, and he is closing in on being our top scorer. I think Harry Kane is on 19 or 20 goals. Rashford maybe a couple less than that. But Sancho's right up there with them, having a very productive goal-scoring season. And I guess at this point I'm supposed to change the tactic, but I haven't, and I've let them get in there. And luckily we've got De Gea in goal still. Do we take Sancho off and bring on another midfielder, a proper midfielder? Who have we got on the bench? Have we got... Well, I can't believe I'm saying these words. I really want McTominay. I want to be able to bring him on and just crunch, but we haven't. We've got... Kessie. We've got Kessie sat right there, wondering why he's not already on the pitch. Let's get him on. We're going to get him on... I'm almost tempted to take Kane off, who's having a really poor game. It seems harsh to take off Sancho, but... Kessie sat in... in fact, I'll probably push Ericsson or Olmo maybe further forward. But we are going to get Kessie. I think I'll leave Sancho on. I'm just going to bring Kessie on in there. We're going to get Pogba back doing... I know I've enjoyed how he's played, but actually, ignore me. We are going to keep him like that. And I'm also going to bring on Rashford for Kane. Just if he's playing up front on his own. I know we've got Edouard there as well, but if we're playing a man up front on his own, I want the quickest striker that we've got up there for when we're lumping the ball forward at him chasing onto it. I realise I've done all that and not actually changed the tactic at all. So we're still going to just try and tiki-taka it around, which I'm not averse to. I enjoy a bit of tiki-taka now. Wan-Bissaka, acres of space, finds Pogba, back to Wan-Bissaka again. I mean, if we've got the ball, Inter haven't. I think that's how football works. Kessie now in loads of space. He's got options ahead of him, but rather than slotting it through to Rashford, who had found a little gap between his two centre-backs, he decides to shoot, and it was on the wrong foot to be shooting from there, and it was never going to come back across goal. But I mean, at least he had to go, eh? Right, I think we might just have got away with this. 1-0 I can live with. 1-1 would be a disaster though, and Inter have got a corner here. 3 minutes supposed to be played. We're into the 5th minute of time added on here, and they're going to score, aren't they? Oh, God. Just get the ball away. Somebody clear it, kick him. They've got another corner. They're not going to get to take it. It's full time. And we have got away with that, I think. In fact, there you go. We got away with that. Yeah, we were poor and we got away with it. And we need to be better than that in the second leg. Juventus drawing away against Monaco in the other tie. But yeah, we need to be better. Silly old guy. Sancho has been great. Right, I'm going to go and play Watford. Hopefully beat them, because that's the other thing. I can't rotate too heavily against Watford because Liverpool are there ready to just pounce. They're not in the they've been knocked out of the Champions League. It's only us left in it now. So we're competing on multiple fronts. Well, we successfully beat Watford with a relatively rotated team. You can see there's quite a few faces in that 11 that weren't in the previous match, which means the league table now looks like this. Liverpool dropping points, 4 points clear now with 6 games to go in the Premier League. That's a worry for tomorrow's video, though, because for today, we need to get past Inter. So we are going to our 5-3-2 counter-attacking system with De Gea in goal. A back three of Maguire, Lindelof and Diaz with Shaw and Wan-Bissaka as wing-backs. Pogba, Kessie and Olmo in midfield. Kane and Rashford up front. We are going there to defend our 1-goal lead. If it doesn't go our way, we have plenty of attacking options on the bench who can come on and turn the game if need be. But Inter are playing a back three as well, so not afraid. Go out there, carry on from where you finished your last match. We did absolutely thump Watford, but it is largely different players playing a very different system, so I wouldn't necessarily expect us to go and win 4-0 again like we did against Watford, although that would be lovely because that would book us a spot in the semi-final. Smaller wins than that would too. We don't have to win 4-0 to get into the semi-final. Shaw on the left-hand side. Shaw was very good in that first leg when he came on. Cross to Harry Kane, and his header is off the top of the crossbar. I have gone with the Kane and Rashford partnership up front again. Edouard doesn't know why he's bothering. He plays against Watford, scores, plays very well. And then it's 2 completely different strikers up front for the big game that comes up next. Edouard was in the team that won the Europa League last season. Bless his cotton socks. I just like Rashford for games like this. I don't know what Inter have done there. I think their own player has cleared that off the line. I am not going to argue with it at all, but we've got away with one a little bit there. I would feel a lot better if we could nick a goal at some point. I know we are set up to defend. They're shattered. So their wing backs are absolutely shattered. That almost makes me think. Bring on. We've got Sancho. We've got Everton. We've got Rashford who could go out wide and just ruin them two. I mean, if they score a goal, we know it's there as an option. We've got the option to ruin their wing-backs. De Gea just plucking the free kick out of the air and hopefully about to start a counter-attack. Like he is absolutely taking his time overdoing it. Well, that's not quite what I was expecting. Now he's got the chance again. I mean, this is the opposite of quick counter-attacking football, if ever I saw it. But he does find Shaw beautifully, who finds Kessie, and Olmo, who plays it over the top to Wan-Bissaka. This is a bit more like it. We've got Rashford in the middle. He's joined by, I think that's Paul Pogba in there who's joined him. Kane's got the ball now. Wan-Bissaka again. Shoots, and it's high and wide. He had Kane, Rashford, and Pogba all in the middle and decided to have a shot. That isn't really what I would be looking for from him in that position. But it's Harry Kane potentially in again. It falls to Rashford. That's why Rashford's there, for his quick speediness in situations like that, but not able to apply the finish. That was a big chance though, and now it's Inter coming at us again, but Pogba comes away with the ball. Pogba's having another very good game today, although he is on a yellow card, so we need to be careful. But he plays Wan-Bissaka in here, who's got the beating of his fullback again. Can he get the crossover? No, it comes back to Olmo. Olmo back to Wan-Bissaka. Somebody crossed the ball. Kane is in the middle, ready for it. There is Kane, and that's a great save from their keeper. It falls to Rashford, and I think that's a corner. It is a corner. We are, as Inter are trying to push forward and go and get back into this game, we are starting to get opportunities. Corner comes in. There's nobody there in the middle because we're still playing a very defensive system. But it was Ruben Diaz who came away with the ball. I don't know what the point of him going forward is if he's going to hover on the edge of the area like that. Right, Olmo is coming off, and we're going to bring Eriksen on for him. Just that change still gives us the flexibility to move things around if we need to. Kane and Rashford, neither of them particularly doing well. So let's bring Edouard on for the last 20 minutes. We're not changing the system yet. We do still have the option to do it with that final change if we have to. And I think I am just going to hover and wait. I don't want to make a final substitution unless it's one to change the system. And I'm quite happy with just letting this run down to be a 0-0. Which I think is what is about to happen. We've got 2 minutes left. We probably should bring a player on at some point. Our team are no doubt getting tired. But Inter are around the side of us here. The one advantage of not having made the substitution is if Inter do score now, we can bring Jadon Sancho on for extra time, which that's a nice substitution to be able to make. But let's not be thinking about extra time. We're still ahead in the tie. We've done tactics for 190 minutes at this point. And we just need to hold on for another 20 seconds and we'll have done this using tactics, which is a ridiculous state of affairs. Wan-Bissaka comes away with the ball, and that should be us booking a spot in the Champions League semi-final. He's just beating his man twice there for fun, but he's given the ball away. In fact, it wasn't Wan-Bissaka who gave the ball away, it was Eriksen. Let's not be too harsh on Wan-Bissaka, who's had an incredible game, and we've won the ball back again there, and now we are beyond the 94-minute mark in this game. If Inter score from here, I am going to vomit all over my microphone. Ruben Diaz in again, back to Diaz, and there we go. We are into the semi-final of the Champions League. It might not have been pretty, but we got the result, and that's the important thing. And now we find out who we're going to play in that semi-final, I think. Or do we need the other? I think we need the Wednesday night game to be played first. Barcelona are chasing Pogba. Barcelona can do one. Scroll down. It's going to be either Atletico Madrid or Barcelona in that semi-final. So let's just go forward a day, let those games be played, and then we can see who we've got as this season continues to pick up pace. It is the most ridiculous end to a season you've ever seen. So this is the game we're concerned with. Barcelona and Atletico Madrid. Atletico 2 goals up from the first leg, with Barcelona at home for this tie. I need to rest my players ready for the Liverpool game, I've just realised. It is Atletico who are through. Bayern Munich also through there as well. We could have a repeat of last year's Europa League final in this year's Champions League final, but it's Atletico Madrid over 2 legs, which will be in a few days' time because I haven't got time to do them today. I obviously can't do them today, and we've got to do Liverpool, Man City, Liverpool first. So much going on. Rest the players. We've still got a chance of winning everything, which would be nuts. If you've enjoyed that, please make sure you leave a nice big thumbs up on there for me. Subscribe to the channel for daily Football Manager videos. And thank you very much for watching.